What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another session of Coffee and Martial Arts. Salud, salud, salud. Cheers. Hola, ¿qué tal? Muy buenos días. Bienvenidos a una sesión más de Café y Artes Marciales. Salud, salud, salud. Cheers. Oh, me gusta esto. I get to do it twice. Gracias, gracias. Bienvenidos todos sean a esta siguiente edición. El día de hoy tenemos un tremendo programa con una excelente invitada. Desde Prescott, Arizona, tenemos a la mismísima heredera del clan Tatum, BRIT FLORES está con nosotros el día de hoy. So, hello everyone. Sorry, I'm sharing on social media right now. We are back and we have an excellent show today. We have all the way from Prescott, Arizona, the heir of the Tatum clan. Yes, BRIT FLORES is in the house. Yes, she is an amazing Kenpoist, of course. Third-degree black belt in the art. She's also a contributing columnist for the Daily Courier. Sorry about that. She is a social media expert guru, digital marketing, all that stuff, which I don't know much about. People think I do. I don't. And she is going to be sharing all of her experiences in the art with I should say, somebody's going to kill me. She's going to kill me for this, and also my instructor, but I don't care. Kenpo royalty family. Yes, of course. Así que tenemos el día de hoy con nosotros a la hija de la leyenda, el gran Master Larry Tatum. BRIT FLORES está con nosotros. Permítanme un segundito. Tengo que compartir en redes sociales, es importante. Perdonen, ya saben que me tengo que agachar un poco aquí, porque si no, no veo, de por sí no traigo mis ojos, mis lentes. Pero tenemos un excelente programa, señores, y vamos a estar transmitiendo, como siempre, ya en español y en inglés, porque nuestra invitada está con nosotros desde los Estados Unidos de Norteamérica. Bien, les recuerdo que estamos transmitiendo, permítame, ya se me movió esto. Ok. Les recuerdo que estamos transmitiendo en vivo desde nuestra página de Facebook de Master Frank Soto. Master Frank Soto, si puede darle, por favor, darle un like, un me gusta y seguirnos, nos ayuda mucho con el algoritmo. May I remind you that we are going live through our Facebook page at Master Frank Soto, so please like and follow us. And also, if you can share this video, that really helps with the algorithm and to send this positive message of the martial art out, okay? We're also going live, también vamos en vivo desde la página de Facebook de International Hall of Fame de Argentina. Tremendo equipazo de artistas marciales liderados por el Master Juan Martín Álvarez. Okay, we go live from the International Hall of Fame page of Argentina, an amazing group of martial artists led by Master Juan Martín Álvarez. Saludos a todos, gracias. Okay, we're almost done. También estamos transmitiendo en vivo desde nuestro canal de YouTube, el canal de Frank Soto Kenpo Kinética, @ Master Frank Soto, ahí lo encuentran como Master Frank Soto. Así que si puede darle like al video, suscribirse al canal y hacerle clic en la campanita para que reciba notificación cada vez que vamos en vivo. So if you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the little bell so you get notified every time we go live. Okay, so almost done here. Okay, sorry about this, but this is important. Okay, yes. Okay, I need an assistant. If everybody wants to be my assistant, I will be more than welcome. Not too much money to make here, but we will have fun, that's for sure. And you get to meet a lot of very interesting people like our guests today. So, I got to say just fast before we bring our guest in that I met BRIT. I met her, I think it was back in 96. Yeah, she was a teenager at the time. I was like in my early 20s. and when I used to go and train at the Green Studio of Grandmaster Larry Tatum and Pasadena, and Old Town Pasadena. And she was already a very talented Kenpoist. She has, of course, the genes and the teachings of the master, but also she has put in the time, okay? Sometimes, she will tell us about this, but sometimes, out of, I'm also a very good friend of Rudy Toilosenga, the son of the late Grandmaster Tino Toilosenga, founder of Lima Lama. And I'm also a very good friend of Ed Parker Jr., the son of the late Senior Grandmaster Ed Parker. So being the son or the daughter of can be, of course, a blessing, but it can also be a burden. Depends on the individual. And I think this case, of course, I'm getting ahead of myself. BRIT has been not just a blessing, but she has taken the responsibility and done an amazing job with, doing her part. Así que tenemos con nosotros a Brittany Flores. Yo a ella la conocí allá a mediados de los 90s, cuando yo empecé a entrenar en el estudio de Green Street en Pasadena, California, con mi maestro, el Grandmaster Larry Tatum. Y ella era una joven adolescente en aquel entonces. Yo estaba en mis veintitantos, 22, 23, 24 años, estaba joven también. Y recuerdo de ella que era una chica talentosa, excelente kenpoísta, fina persona, muy educada, igual que sus padres, ¿sí? Tremendos, finísimas personas. Mi primera impresión que yo me llevé, recuerdo, del estudio de mi maestro, de su familia, fue maravilloso. Y pues ella, que es una portadora del apellido Tatum y de toda esta reputación mundial tremenda, puedo decir yo lo poco que he visto que lo ha hecho muy bien. Ella ha puesto todo su trabajo, todo su esfuerzo, pero voy a dejar de hablar y vamos a darle la bienvenida. So I'm going to shut up now and I'm going to welcome my guest. I'm very excited to have her here. Let's welcome BRIT FLORES. Hello.
Hello. What an intro. Thank you.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias por estar acá. Let's see. Okay. For people that are watching, please ask your questions and send your comments. Just remember, this show is a very respectful show. We're showing appreciation to all of you guys and our guests. So just please be nice. You always are, but I just have to say the disclaimer. Así que muchas gracias a todos. No olviden de mandar sus preguntas y sus comentarios. Pueden hacer sus preguntas siempre de manera respetuosa, por favor. So we already have people saying hello, if I may. Jorge Sánchez says, "Viva el Kenpo." Saludos.
Absolutely.
Saludos. Yes. Maestro Scott James Southwell. Hey, BRIT. Hope all is well. Respect and hugs from Canada.
Thank you, Scott.
Nice. Salud.
Nice to see you.
Claudio Lucas Oviedo dice, hola maestro, saludos, al fin pude enganchar el programa en vivo, un abrazo kenpoístas. Saying salud, she finally got to see the show live. Excelente, bienvenido, gracias. Weapons Academy, Gran Maestro Tim Bullitt says, what's up? Tune in from my squad. Wow.
Oh, man. Nice. It's been a while, Tim. Thanks so much for coming.
Nice, nice. Jorge Sanchez says, BRIT, hi.
Hola, Jorge.
Michael Flores.
My husband.
Yeah, of course. Checking. Yes, we'll treat it well, my friend. Good morning. Okay, Jorge Sanchez, BRIT, born into Kenpo royalty was hard for you?
No, it was, it's been a tremendous blessing, to be honest. It's made me extremely resilient. But also, my parents, they never made it mandatory that I was there, which is probably why I am a 3rd degree black belt instead of a higher rank. I am still training, but, my parents, they allowed me to make my life a priority, knowing that when I stepped onto the mats, that would be my priority at that time. So I had the blessing of being able to start training when I was 3, with my earliest memories being of, sweat and blood and old carpet and private rooms and, hitting the bag without pads back then. Right. So I had that fun, right? That wonderful upbringing. I mean, it was great. And then they would let me take breaks when I was, a teenager and in high school and going to college. And so, no, it was not hard. I feel very fortunate.
Ok, le preguntaron a nuestra invitada que si el haber nacido en la realeza del Kenpo fue difícil y dice que no, que al contrario fue una bendición porque la hizo extremadamente resiliente, ¿sí? Una persona fuerte, pues. Y además su entrenamiento no fue una obligación, nunca lo obligaron sus padres a entrenar, ella le dieron ese espacio, sigue entrenando hasta la fecha, ¿sí? Pero le dieron la oportunidad de que su vida fuera su prioridad, o sea, de encontrar su propia vida y desarrollarla, ¿no? Pero ella recuerda que desde los 3 años de edad empezó a entrenar, recuerda esas memorias muy pequeñas del sudor, la sangre, esos espacios, pegarle al costal y demás sin guantes ni nada de eso, divertirse pues, ¿no? Era muy divertido y durante su vida le permitieron tener ciertos recesos, como cuando estaba en la etapa adolescente, etcétera. Entonces, de lo contrario, a lo mejor tuviera un grado mucho más alto, pero como ha tenido estos recesos, ha ido avanzando a su ritmo. Ok. I like the article you wrote in Martial Arts Man, how you had to defend yourself with a guy who was drunk when you were in college.
Thank you. Yes. I think that was in Inside Kung Fu. And that was a very scary time when that occurred. And I was grateful to be able to solve things with just a couple of basic moves, really. Pretty swift front kick to the midsection does wonders when someone is drunk and attacking you in a bar.
Of course.
And then you get out of there, right? You don't hang around to see if they're going to get up.
Nice. Okay, we'll bring in the comments later. We're going to start. Al rato vamos a seguir trayendo todos los comentarios. Por favor, sigan mandando sus preguntas y demás. So, let me ask you what I ask all the time to my new guests. And thank you, by the way, for being here today. I really appreciate this. I know you have a tight agenda. You're a busy woman, so thank you so much. But I want to ask, can you tell us, I mean, you already mentioned that you started when you were 3 years old, but can you tell us what it is or how it was for you? You didn't start martial arts. You were born in martial arts. So it's a different monster, altogether. It's a different animal.
It's a dragon all on its own.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Right? It is.
Can you elaborate on this? How it is that you started and how you got to where you're at today? Briefly, because we don't have much time.
Sure. Let's write a book.
Exactly.
No. Maybe one day.
Cool.
So there are things that people do, right, as hobbies. And then there are things that people are. And I am a martial artist. And that is just it. I am a Kenpoist. It is not something that I feel like I am separate from or that I leave. It's always in me. I'm always moving with that. But it made things very different growing up, to relate to people that didn't have that martial arts mindset. And there was a lot of youth, right? Youthful ego that happens when you're growing into something like that. And yeah, age makes it better. We'll just put it that way. Right? I was pretty scrappy growing up because I had all of this in me, right? I wanted to move. I wanted to kick. I wanted to do my forms. I wanted other people to see that. And I didn't have that connection, especially as a young girl, right? Trying to relate to people in Girl Scouts. I mean, that was a bit difficult. I was always a bit different, you know. So when I stepped onto the mats, that's where my home was, and it still is, you know.
Nice. Ok, comenta, le pregunto acerca de su antecedente, cómo inicia, porque prácticamente ella no se involucró en las artes marciales, o no fue y se inició, sino que ella nació en las artes marciales. Entonces dice que, contesta que hay personas que hacen un hobby o que tienen un hobby, y hay personas que son, ¿sí? Que ellas son parte, que es parte de ellas. Y en el caso de ella dice, yo soy un artista marcial, dice, yo soy una Kenpoista, ¿ok? Entonces siempre estoy en constante movimiento, esto es parte de quién es, ¿no? Entonces dice que eso le costó trabajo un poco, que fue difícil para ella relacionarse con personas que no tenían la mentalidad de artista marcial, sobre todo cuando estaba pequeña. Claro que ese, digamos, también tenía el ego de la juventud, ¿no? Y el ego del artista marcial, pero con la edad esto fue cambiando, obviamente. La edad mejora las cosas, ¿no? Entonces dice que ella siempre quería estar en movimiento y quería compartir sus formas, sus técnicas y demás con las personas, y era complicado. Por ejemplo, cuando era una niña y estaba en las Girl Scouts, ¿no? En las niñas Scouts, pues era difícil conectar, ¿no? Con esta parte. Entonces siempre el tatami, el mat, ¿no? El estudio era su casa, ¿sí? Donde ella puede expresarse, y lo sigue siendo. Ok. So you mentioned your early stages. So when do you feel it started changing for you? I mean, you mentioned age, right?
Right.
So of course, age improves things, and you know, this shall pass, right?
Yeah.
Whatever is happening, it will pass, right? But
Yeah.
how was that transition for you?
Abrupt. It was abrupt. I was 30 and I was coming out of my first marriage, and all good things happen to you at 30 years old. You know,
Nice.
I think 30 is such a magical age for people. And my mom kept telling me, she's like, this is going to be a good year for you. And so anyway, I was back in California, and my father, and my mother, they gave me this amazing opportunity to teach for them while I studied to be a yoga instructor. And I did not have any children, so I was able to throw myself into training after many, many years away from it, and relearn everything, you know, from yellow all the way through black. And I was able to teach it at the same time, you know. And that's when the change happened, when I was on the mats working with, you know, children with special needs, kids at risk, women that had been, you know, survivors of domestic abuse and sexual abuse, when I was able to connect with them and teach them, right? And I was also learning the yoga side of things. That's when it changed. That's when everything came into clear focus. I'm trying to pause so you can translate, because
Thank you. Thank you.
Get wordy.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm kind of used to this.
Yeah. I can imagine so.
Entonces le pregunto que si en esa transición de la infancia a la adultez, ¿cuándo sintió ese cambio? Y comenta que esa fue a la edad de los 30 años, que ella regresa a California después de su primer matrimonio. Regresa a California y dice, todas las cosas buenas te pasan a los 30, dice, ¿no? Que su mamá también se lo mencionó, que venían cosas buenas para ella. Regresa a California y sus padres le dan la gran oportunidad de trabajar y dar clases y manejar el estudio que tenían, el estudio en Pasadena, y ella empieza a enseñar, vuelve a entrenar después de muchos años de estar fuera, regresa al entrenamiento y vuelve a aprender todo desde cinturón amarillo, todo el programa hasta cinturón negro, y al mismo tiempo está enseñando. Y en ese proceso de reaprender y de enseñar, también empieza a enseñar a niños con habilidades especiales, a niños en riesgo, a mujeres que fueron víctimas de violencia, y también daba clases de yoga, porque también se hace instructora de yoga. Entonces, toda esta experiencia le permite generar ese cambio positivo en ella. Okay. Let me bring some of the comments here.
How are we doing?
Oh, we're doing good. We have a lot of people saying hello. Yes, yes.
Hello.
I'm just trying to pick the next one. Okay, I think it was this one. Yes. Claudio Lucas Oviedo, saludos a la señora Brit. Es un gusto conocerla por este medio. Pregunto, ¿es buena y pega tan fuerte como el papá? Saludos de Argentina. Okay, says hello to Mrs. Britt. It's a pleasure to meet you through this media. And he is asking, are you as good and you hit it strong as your father? Salud from Argentina.
I mean, dad is dad, right? Dad is lightning in a bottle, and he's about that fast and strong. I'm pretty strong, though. Ask dad.
Yeah. Ok, respuesta para usted, mi estimado, dice, bueno, su papá, pues es su papá, ¿no? Es un relámpago en una botella. I like that. Pero dice que es bastante fuerte, pero que si quieren saber que le pregunten a su papá. Y yo puedo agregar, yo nunca, no recuerdo haber sido golpeado por Britt. I don't remember being hit by you, but I was hit by your mother a lot.
Yeah.
I used to dummy up for her. And I'm sorry.
You don't want to get hit by my mom.
Hola, jefa.
Yeah.
But she hits like a mule.
She hits really like a Mack truck.
Oh, she hits really hard.
Yeah. And that was one of the first things that, you know, when I threw myself back into my training, I mean, you got to appreciate those lower stances and the foot positioning, you know, especially as a smaller person. Like, I don't know how tall people think I am, but I'm only 5'4", 5'5", right? And so I am not a tall person. And my mom saw me on the mats, you know, in those first months back in, and she's always drop your weight, you know, don't cross your center line, just settle in and go all the way through your target. And yeah, I mean, that increases your strength from just your arm, right? Your however much an arm weighs or how much strength you can generate that direction. But you put your legs behind it, you know, you get into a nice forward bow with those punches, and suddenly it's your entire body weight behind that punch. So, you know, yeah.
Cool. Comenta que pues sí genera bastante fuerza, sí, comentando que la maestra Jill, su madre, es bastante fuerte. De ella sí he sido yo sparring y sé no me platicaron lo fuerte que golpea, entonces dice que ella aprendió a apreciar mucho las posiciones bajas, bien plantada, y poder bajar, sí, su madre se lo decía mucho en el entrenamiento, baja tu peso y atraviesa el blanco cuando golpeas, y poder ir a un buen arco adelantado, un buen forward bow con ese golpe. Aprendes a moverte, porque dice, no sé qué piensan, qué estatura tengo las personas, pero mide alrededor de 1,63, 1,64 centímetros. Entonces, pues no es una persona muy alta y las posiciones bajas le ayudan mucho a generar poder. Jorge Sánchez says, your father is the best.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Mario La Ferrada, a salute from Belgium.
Nice to see you.
Saludos, Mario. Carlos Villarroel, boa tarde, Big Master from Brazil, Manaus. Salud to Sensei BRIT FLORES. Bom café marcial, obrigado. Obrigado. Ok. Roberto Carlos Loaiza Alcíbar, saludos cordiales desde Ecuador, mi estimado
Salud,
Sensei.
Ecuador.
Saludos, Sensei, gracias. Vagelis Drosos, hello from Athens, Greece.
Hello, Athens, Greece.
Hello, sir. Okay. Ricardo Espinosa says, good afternoon, Master Frank and Master B. Flores. Okay. How have you seen the development of women in Kenpo? Are there some difference between men or women in the practice of Kenpo? Greetings from Chile.
Greetings from Chile. Yeah, the women hit harder. They do. I would rather spar a guy, you know, a gentleman that's 6'2", like William's size. I'd rather spar him than some of the women that I came up with going for my black. You know, I mean, man, feisty, very strong, very precise. And in terms of women in Kenpo, I don't know what it was like in other parts of the world, but in the dojo with my father and my mother, you know, women had always been given every opportunity to train and train as hard as the guys and teach. You know, my father was one of the first people that allowed women to teach, that wanted women to teach. You know, he wanted that perspective. He wanted that strength on the mats, and that beauty and grace, right, that I feel women bring to, well, to anything they do, but Kenpo especially. So I have just seen women and young girls, right, get stronger over time and more educated, you know.
Okay. Bien, le pregunta a Ricardo Espinosa que cuáles son las diferencias entre hombres y mujeres en la práctica del Kenpo. Y contesta, pues primero que nada, las mujeres pegan más fuerte, de lo cual estoy de acuerdo, sí pegan mucho más fuerte las mujeres. Dice que ella prefiere 1000 veces pelear con un hombre, aunque sea un hombre muy alto de 1,80 y tantos, que con una mujer, porque el hombre tiene más cuidado, las mujeres van con todo, ¿sí? Son fuertes, son rudas, son precisas, sobre todo las mujeres con las que ella le tocó entrenar cuando se estaba formando. Dice que no sabría decir con respecto a las mujeres en otros lugares o en otros países, pero puede hablar de su experiencia en el dojo con su padre, en el dojo ahí con papá y mamá. En el dojo del maestro Larry, dice, siempre las mujeres han tenido la misma oportunidad de entrenar que los hombres, ¿sí? De entrenar y de enseñar también, ¿sí? De hecho, el maestro Larry fue una de las primeras personas, si no es que la primera persona, en promover y en permitir y promover que mujeres se convirtieran en instructoras y empezaran a enseñar también a hombres, ¿sí? Estamos hablando ya hace algunas décadas. Entonces, esta parte para ella pues es normal porque pues es lo que le tocó vivir, ¿sí? Y ella ha visto muchas mujeres y jóvenes, chicas, cómo se van fortaleciendo y se van empoderando con la práctica del arte y también se van haciendo más inteligentes. Okay. Jorge Sánchez said, Ms. Flores, it's hard to be in your father's shadow. My respect.
Thank you. You know, my dad is a legend and will always be a legend. And he's always been that ridiculously good. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, he turned 50 and was a legend. I mean, he was a legend at, you know, in his 20s. But I never felt like he lorded that over anyone, and especially me, or wanted me to be in his shadow. And I am not ever trying to be my father. You know, I'm my own Kenpoist, and my contributions to the art are going to be different and from a different perspective. Not better, right? Not worse. Just from the perspective of someone that has grown up in it, who is the daughter of a master and my mother as well, you know. So it'll be interesting.
Ok. Bien, le comenta Jorge Sánchez que debe ser difícil estar en la sombra de su padre y le da sus respetos. Y dice, bueno, hablando de eso, dice, en realidad, mi padre, dice, siempre ha sido una leyenda, y es una leyenda, estamos de acuerdo, y siempre fue ridículamente bueno, dice, siempre fue muy bueno en Kenpo, ¿ok? Desde muy joven, no nada más en la edad adulta, desde muy joven, ya era una leyenda desde hace muchos años, desde sus años 20, digamos, pues, ¿ok? No es algo reciente, pues. En realidad, no todos conocemos esa historia, pero ella nació en eso, entonces le tocó ver esto. Pero dice que su padre no le exigió y no le impuso esto, ¿ok? Y ella no intenta ser su padre, entonces no se siente en su sombra, ¿ok? Porque ella no intenta, ella es su propia kenpoísta, dice, es su propia persona, y de hecho, como kenpoísta, ella tiene una diferente perspectiva, diferente punto de vista y diferentes aportaciones al arte. No es mejor ni es peor, simple y sencillamente sus contribuciones tienen que ver de una persona que nació en el arte y que comparte esta experiencia. ¿Okay? Gracias. Thank you, Jorge. Roberto Carlos Loaiza Alcíbar, saludos cordiales para todos, maestros y eminencias de las artes marciales que siempre están dispuestos en los doyos a enseñar sus sabias enseñanzas y sus conocimientos marciales. Saludos desde Ecuador. Saludos. Gracias. Okay. Jorge Sánchez, my opinion is, Flores, your father is the best in my book.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Agree. Okay, and there we go.
Thank you, Dad.
Harry Tatum is in the house. Thank you, sir. Yes, she is strong. I bet. And then he says, she has ki.
Thank you, Dad.
Nice. Thank you, sir. Ed Medina, I love how Master Tatum moves so slick. Haha, I didn't know he had a daughter, though. Awesome.
Here I am.
Hello.
Yes.
Cool. Maestro Sean Kelly, great interview. Many blessings to you and your family.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Kelly. Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. Ed Medina, correction. Grandmaster Larry Tatum. Wow. Okay. Kenpo Legacy Parker, Oaxaca, México. Estupendo programa, como siempre. Saludos desde Oaxaca, México. Gracias, maestro. Saludos desde Hermosillo, Sonora. Maestro Guido Polidori, saludos a ambos from Chile. Salud.
Chile.
Excelente programa y como siempre grandes invitados. Gracias, maestro. Saludos. Bien, Rick Foster, saludos para ambos. Gracias por compartir esta experiencia muy bella por lo demás. Gracias, saludos. Says beautiful experience. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so you mentioned you work with kids with special abilities. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? How is it? Because I gotta say, when I was a kid, we didn't have all this, all this type of, how should I call it? Labels. I'm sorry, but they are, okay? Because psychology wasn't that advanced. So we had the problems, but we didn't have the labels. So therefore we didn't have treatment.
Right. We didn't have diagnosis.
Exactly. With no diagnosis because there was none. There was no hyperactive, disorder or all of that stuff. And now we do. And now we have, psychology has taken big steps in the past 20, 30 years in doing a better job, I believe, with all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So how is it your experience with that type of children with special or different type of special abilities? And how is it that they learn Kenpo? Because sometimes when we're ignorant to those type of experiences and those type of special abilities,
Yeah.
some people think that they are in a disadvantage, for example.
No.
I know it's not the case, but can you elaborate on that, please?
Yeah. So neurodiverse people, I believe, have superpowers in their neurodiversity, right? So you take ADHD, for example. I believe that there are a huge amount of strengths and abilities that come with something like ADHD. For example, the ability to hyper-focus in on something to become so good at it. And so many of the ADHD kids that I taught also had these just incredible hearts, right? They felt everything. So yeah, sure. Once in a while, if you couldn't catch them in a hyper-focused state or they didn't have their medication, maybe they were spinning on you, blowing bubbles, or, talking. You're trying to teach them a form and they're talking about, this amazing thing that they learned in school instead, or they're looking over your shoulder. But all of them had in common, this incredible ability to feel. And if you can connect with a child and get down on your knees and open your heart to that, right? And stop trying to teach them your way and allow them to be themselves, right? So allow Kenpo to form itself within them versus trying to shove them into a mold. Then, I believe people with neurodiversity, those kids with ADHD or autism, and other diagnosis, I believe that they can take Kenpo and make it their own in a way that gives them those superpowers. But you have to have the heart, right? The corazón. If you don't have the heart, and if you put your ego ahead of the child or the person, the adult that you're teaching, you're just going to get frustrated because they're never going to do what you want them to do on the mats. They can sense, people can sense when you're disingenuine or when you're trying to make someone in your own image, and I think that the key to teaching anybody, with a diagnosis or not, is to see them for who they are and offer yourself, right, as an instructor, to show them the path and bring out the best in them, right? Not the other way around.
Nice.
That was a lot. So I'll shut up now.
Gracias. Thank you. Yeah. Le pregunté yo a la maestra acerca de su trabajo con niños con habilidades especiales, ¿ok? Que muchas veces las personas lo ven como desventaja, pero no lo es. Y la psicología ha avanzado mucho. En realidad nosotros cuando estábamos niños no teníamos esas etiquetas, no teníamos esos diagnósticos que ahora sí se tienen, y se puede trabajar con ellos. Entonces comenta que la neurodiversidad va de la mano, dice ella, los niños con neurodiversidad tienen superpoderes. Por ejemplo, un niño con TDAH, con trastorno de déficit de atención con hiperactividad, por ejemplo, tiene una tremenda capacidad de hiperenfoque, ¿sí? Tener el enfoque acrecentado, digamos. Entonces pueden ser niños muy buenos para enfocar en algo y desarrollar una habilidad, pero si no están enfocados, por ejemplo, sí puede pasar que no están enfocados o no se tomaron su medicamento, por ejemplo. Sí puede ser que el chamaco ande así por todos lados y su mente esté distraída y esté hablando de su experiencia en la escuela cuando lo tienes en el mat y le quieres enseñar algo y cuesta trabajo, ¿no? Pero lo importante con ellos es conectar a través del sentimiento, sentir, ¿sí? Y conectar con el corazón, ¿sí? Ponerse de rodillas, arrodillarse, para conectar con ellos y permitir que el Kenpo se adapte a ellos, no querer obligarles a que se aprendan el programa, no, sino llevarlos y que el Kenpo se vaya adaptando y enseñarles desde el corazón con ese sentimiento y con esa apertura, ¿ok? pueden ser niños con TDAH o con trastorno del espectro autista, etcétera. Entonces a esos niños tienes que enseñarles del corazón, ¿sí? Porque si les enseñas desde el ego y quieres obligarlos a que hacer algo, te vas a terminar frustrando. Hay que enseñarles desde el corazón, conectar con ellos de manera genuina, si no el niño se da cuenta, ¿ok? Y esa es la clave y se pueden lograr muchas cosas con ellos. Ok. Let's see. Jorge Sanchez says, Ms. Flores, Frank is a psychologist, also a good man, great Kenpoista. Gracias. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That's what makes this show so easy, you know, because Frank, you're just, you have the therapist and the martial arts view. So you make your guests feel very comfortable. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. With children with special needs, you must have super patience and compassion. They feel you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Both my kids have special needs. So
Really? Wow.
yeah, they do. And so I value my Kenpo training, you know, what mom and dad taught me. Because I mean, I didn't know how to teach people until my parents taught me, you know. My dad was the one and my mom was the one that said, you know, connect. Because they'd see me frustrated, right? Trying to get someone to step back and block at the same time. And for some people, that's easy. And for some people, that's very difficult. And it doesn't matter if they're like a little kid or an adult. Yeah, I mean, you see it all the time. Grown adults can't step back into a stance and block right away sometimes. So my parents were the ones that would say, hey, don't get frustrated. You know, take them on a different path, move them around. Let's see what else they can do, right? Don't try and put them into a box. And so now with my own children, all of that training, it's, you know, I mean, Kenpo you use every day, right? Whether you're in the mats or you're a parent or you're a professional at work or whatever, right?
Nice.
It translates across. So
yeah, and I gotta say, you know, the thing I talk about the labels is I believe, I mean, I still have it. I have the obsessive, the OCD for sure. That's why
me too.
That's why I'm a good Kenpoist, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So
you're gonna get it perfect here. It's gonna be perfect.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't know, but actually what was probably a disadvantage in other things, it became an advantage when learning the art.
Yeah. And that's why it's so fun, right? To be a Kenpoist, to be a martial artist for someone with those diagnoses, because you don't fit in to the regular world in the way that people want you to all the time. But on the mats, right, with your family, right, not just your blood family, but the people that you train with and you break bones with and you laugh with and you, you know, sweat with, you fit in there. And that is the most beautiful thing, right? Because that is what we have here, right? You have people all over the world that are family because they connect in that way.
Bien, estamos comentando de la importancia, por ejemplo, de lo que puede pasar con estas etiquetas, con estos diagnósticos que no se tenían. Por ejemplo, yo puedo decir que cuando yo era un niño, seguramente yo tenía el trastorno obsesivo compulsivo, que todavía lo tengo, pero nunca fui diagnosticado porque no se usaba eso, no había nada de eso, pero esa misma obsesión se convirtió en pasión de manera positiva con el Kenpo y me hizo desarrollarme. Y comenta ella que sí, en efecto, y en este caso, por ejemplo, cuando tienes este tipo de situaciones, no conectas a veces fuera del dojo, pero en el dojo, en el mat, en el tatami, conectas con estas personas y se convierte, y es lo que se convierte en familia. Tienes toda una familia ahí que es maravilloso. And I gotta say, I thank you. I didn't see it that way. But yes, because I always tell my wife I only interact basically with my family or my students,
right?
Whether it's here on the mats or at the police academy. and that's it. My friends, that's it. I don't fit in with the rest of society because I do have friends from high school and stuff, but I don't see them basically. I don't see them much because of the same thing. So agree. Thank you for that. Let's see. We have, okay, Norman Jensen. Whoa, great comments. Salute from Florida.
Salute. Thank you.
Salute, sir. Franklin Santamaría, buenas tardes. Y niños o jóvenes con síndrome de Asperger, saludos desde Florida. So he said, good afternoon. He's asking about kids or younglings with the Asperger syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
What about them? Ya lo mencionó, pero have you ever worked with kids with this type of the autism spectrum?
I'm not quite sure if it was quite Asperger's, but yes, we did have children with autism in the dojo frequently. As well as kids with different other needs, and adults as well, in wheelchairs, with different mobility restraints. So that was one of the beautiful things about the dojo, what mom and dad created was they created a space where disability, it wasn't that it didn't matter, but it wasn't a disability. You know what I mean? They made people and children and families and parents who were searching for a way for their child to connect with other children and to connect with themselves, right? And see their strength. They made the dojo a safe environment for that. So yeah, we had kids and adults with all types of diagnosis and what society would say are disabilities, and they would come in and learn and walk away with the same confidence as anyone else.
Okay.
And that, yeah.
Comenta que no está segura si trabajó con niños con exactamente el síndrome de Asperger, pero sí trabajó con niños con el trastorno del espectro autista y con adultos también con capacidades diferentes y trabajando mucho con su movilidad, trabajando con las restricciones que tienen, etcétera. Pero la maravilla de esto es que sus padres, el maestro Larry y la maestra Jill, crearon este espacio en el dojo donde la disabilidad o la incapacidad, por decirlo de alguna manera, no es tal, no existe, ¿sí? Lo que la sociedad lo ve como una discapacidad, pues, en el dojo no es así, porque en el dojo pueden conectar con otros niños, puedan dejar de tener sus problemas porque ahí conectan y pueden desarrollar la misma confianza que desarrolla cualquier otra persona a través del entrenamiento. Ok. Jorge Sánchez again says, Mrs. Flores, you did a great job in Inside Kung Fu Magazine as a writer. I hope you can write a book.
Oh, thank you. It will come. I do write and I enjoy it. And one of these days it'll come. But, right now my dad's working on a book. So his first. It's about this thick, you guys. You're just going to die when you see it. And there's stuff in there that's so secret. He can only write it in pen. I sound like my dad now, don't I?
Yeah, you did. Of course.
I do have his humor. I may not be as fast as him, but yeah.
Well, I got to say, I remember every time I used to travel with your father.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my stomach hurt for so much laughter.
Oh, I know. If he had done anything else, he could have been a comedian.
Yep.
Right? He would have been world famous as a comedian. People don't know this. And imagine growing up with him and my mom.
Oh, my.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Roberto Almagro, saludos. Frank Britt, saludos, Roberto, gracias.
Salud.
Yo uso el Kenpo para ayudar a los niños con TDAH, autismo y diferentes capacidades especiales. Estamos en la misma onda. Lo único es que, en mi opinión, ningún medicamento ayuda a manejar los diferentes trastornos. Gracias por su opinión. says he uses Kenpo to help other kids with what is it? ADHD, is it?
Yeah.
I forget the initials in the acronym
ADHD.
in English. I have them in the Spanish in my head. I'm sorry. Autism and different special abilities. We are in the same area. He says the only thing is, in his opinion, medication don't really work. So that's his personal opinion, of course,
Sure.
which is fine.
Yeah.
Good. Pero Kenpo sí funciona, mi estimado. Así que dele. Jorge wants to know, Mrs. Flores, is your husband a Kenpoist too?
Yeah, we converted him from Kung Fu. So he spent about 15 years studying Kung Fu before he met me again. We met in high school, but we spent 17 years apart. And so it was interesting when we came back together. I had been studying Kenpo intensely, right? And he had been studying Kung Fu. And he came over to the dojo and started training there, and he got up to blue, and he's still training. So we just took him back to training recently. So he's on his way to black.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can wait to see him with a black belt.
I know. I mean, he moves like a black belt. I mean, you wouldn't want to get hit or kicked by that guy. He's kinetic energy, but yeah,
Nice.
Got to learn the techniques, got to learn the forms.
You do. Yes,
We do.
agree.
Yeah, for good reason too, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Bien. Let's see. Frank, you fit in with me, my friend.
Aw.
Gracias. Thank you. Arturo Flores Villarroel, saludos, maestros from Santa Cruz, Bolivia. Excellent show. A big hug for both of you. Gracias. Saludos, mi estimado. Neo Geo says, my rank is green with a yellow tip in Kung Fu Shaolin. Gracias. Saludos.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Franklin Santa Maria dice, thanks a lot for the answer. Gracias. Saludos. Jorge Sanchez, viva the Tatum family and viva el Kenpo. I like him. I really like him.
I know, right?
He's always with something good to say here in the show.
I love it. I love the positivity.
Well, I got to say, we are running out of time.
We'll have to do it again someday.
Yeah, I mean, we still have so much things to talk about. But before we go, anything you want to say to people listening out there, to women in Kenpo, or to parents that have kids with special needs, or anything else you want to add, please?
Well, I want to say thank you, right, to you and to the world of martial arts and my Kenpo family, especially. I want to remind people that, you're not alone, right? We are all connected. We are connected through the art. We are connected through our techniques, and we don't walk alone. And I would say that to the parents as well, right? Get your kids moving, have a heart for them, and be patient. They will surprise you as they grow, and the things that they learn on the mats, you may not see the fruit of that right away, but as a parent and as an instructor, you will see it one day in the best way. So just keep training them,
Ok. Le pregunto si quería agregar algo, y para la gente que nos escucha, mujeres, padres de familia, etcétera, y dice, nada más decir que no están solos. Perdón. Estamos todos conectados a través del arte, a través de las técnicas, y no caminamos solos. No caminas solos, caminamos juntos, ¿ok? Así que manténganse en movimiento, y con respecto a sus hijos, tengan el corazón y sean pacientes con ellos, ¿ok? Y lo que aprenden en el tatami, lo que aprenden en el dojo, lo que aprenden en el mat, A veces no podemos ver los resultados de manera inmediata, pero les aseguro que con el tiempo van a ver los resultados en su hijo, van a ver la mejoría, van a ver cómo todas estas habilidades tienen un efecto positivo en ellos. ¿Ok? Sorry. Oh my. Hold on. I need coffee. That's all. Yes. Yeah, I think I have an addiction with coffee and martial arts, of course. So that's why the name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. So yes, we're going to have to do this again. I mean, I have so many questions in my head. I have so many things I want to ask you. One thing before we go, can you share like some type of anecdote or something that happened, a story or something that happened at the studio that you think it's funny or worth remembering, or something that taught you something that you want to share with everybody here?
I'll have to think of something appropriate.
Oh, okay.
No. So the Green Street Dojo, you know, it was right down the street from a mental hospital. So we had a lot of colorful experiences. We'll put it that way. You know, people that would come by, and you know, we had this one guy, for example, that came by, and we thought he was there for an intro. He walked in. He's like, "I'm here for my lesson," right? And I look at the books, and I didn't see him, but you know, we had walk-ins all the time, especially because of the foot traffic. You know, you get people on their way to dinner or what have you, and they would stop in and schedule a lesson. Or so anyway, so we bring him on the mats, and there had to be about 15 of us at the time. It was a Saturday morning, and the guy gets onto the mats, he bows on, everything's normal, and then all of a sudden he starts like walking around and kind of unbuttoning his shirt. And Dad had left by then, and you know, it was me and the other male instructors, and I looked at them and they looked at me, and this guy's starting to, now he's walking like through our lessons, right, and kind of zigzagging across the mats back and forth. It took 3 of them to get him out. So we had a lot of that. But you know, we also had a lot of just people that were looking again for a way to connect, women especially, that really needed a place where they could experience their own power and strength after being attacked. You know, I mean, we were in LA, so there was a lot of people that came in that needed to learn how to defend themselves. It wasn't a hobby. You know, they came in to become stronger and to not feel powerless. And yeah, those memories are wonderful, especially being on the mats with my parents. I mean, what a joy, you know?
Cool.
Yeah.
So when are you going for your 4th degree?
Anytime, you know, I'm still training. Form 4, that's still my favorite. Can't get it out of my head.
That's a beautiful form.
It's a beautiful form. And
Yeah.
every time I think that I've really got it in a spot, you know, then it teaches me something else. So it really is the Rosetta Stone of Kenpo. And but yeah, I mean, for anybody that's interested, I am still training. I am still frosty, making sure that that I'm up to speed. I just have to go a little easier on my joints at 45 than I did at 30 or 15. So
Yeah. Wow.
Lots of yoga and cold showers and, you know, Tiger Balm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're definitely going to have to bring you back here if you want to. Of course, you're invited. Mi casa, su casa, always.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've got other stuff to dig into.
Yeah,
so.
we have so much. People always have, we go for an hour. That's a lot. I said, no, never enough time, an hour. But
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for the interview. I got to say, you are a wonderful person as your parents. You are a great example of them. I am blessed, and I have, the honor and privilege to be a student. And the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So
Well,
thank you so much.
Master Soto. I know you said not to call you that, but
Please
thank
don't.
you. And thank you for creating this beautiful platform, this amazing opportunity to reach people across the world. I mean, how amazing is this? And congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Because this is tremendous.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated. And thank you everybody for watching today. Muchas gracias a toda la gente que nos vio hoy. Muy agradecidos con la maestra BRIT FLORES. Cualquier pregunta y demás, mándenla. Y si quieren que esté otra vez en el programa, mándenme por favor sus comentarios para tener listas las preguntas. Ya dijo que sí, así que vamos a traerla muy pronto. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
You too.
And have a great weekend.
Hey, you as well. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.